This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here with an update video on the Kenneth Rocafort statue. As any of you who watched my video knows, I had some issues with my statue. It was mainly on these fingers here, and then I had some issues with paint on my collar. I actually didn't notice the collar issue until later. But the main issue was there was an extra piece of molding here at the end of his fingers and it was unpainted. I initially thought that it was just a paint issue and that I was going to go ahead and touch it up. I was pretty sure I could match the paint tones. But after looking at the statue's box and looking at my figure, I realized that his fingers were not supposed to extend as far as they were extending on my statue. So what I did was I ended up contacting DC, and because I had bought the statue from their website, contacted them. They had me take a bunch of pictures and then send it to them, and then I had to ship the statue back, and then they shipped me out a new one. I was very apprehensive when I got the new one. I mean, I was excited for a lot of it. This was the statue in this series that we were really looking for. This was the one that all of us had on their wish list. So I was a little apprehensive when I got it, but I opened him up, and this time, as far as I can tell, and I really hope I don't find anything during this video, he is absolutely perfect. Absolutely just an amazing, amazing statue. And I'm basically just going to do a whole new review of him, because when I got him and he was whole and he was, beautifully done, it was like it was completely new to me again. Let me start off by correcting myself from my first video. He is a limited edition. DC Collectibles did something weird with him. Generally, the limited edition comes, there's a number on the bottom of the box, there's a number on the styrofoam insert, and then the number is on the bottom of the statue itself. When I first got it, because I thought this was a limited edition, when I first got it I was like, there's no number on the box, there's no number on the styrofoam, and I actually didn't bother checking the bottom of the base. And then when I was taking the pictures for DC, I had picked him up, and lo and behold, he is a limited edition. Mine is 2082 of 5200. I'm not sure what my old one was, but he is definitely a limited edition. So there's only 5200 of these guys out there, and even less than that you got to figure, because I know of at least 2 of these statues, and that's really sad. I mean, I know a lot of the collectors from YouTube, at least the ones that are in my little group or whatever you want to call it. Trav Nasty, he got his, and he had the same issue. There was molding on the fingertips, and I really hate to say that they rushed these statues out, but I think they did with the Rocafort, and it was a terrible thing to do. I mean, it's terrible to do on any statue, but this guy is so amazing. This statue is so beautiful. To have put this one out with all those QC issues is terrible, and I don't know what happens with those statues that are sent back, because this isn't my statue. There was all kinds of issues here with the hand that aren't on this one, so this definitely was not my statue. So you got to figure there are less than 5200 of these out there, because that's at least 2 that got sent back to DC. So best case scenario, there's what, 5,198, and you got to figure out of the small group of Superman collectors that I talked to or whatever, that's just 2. So you got to think there's a lot more of these out there with QC issues, and how many of these people actually sent them back? That's the thing, is how many people actually sent them back and got replacements. So that number of these statues out there is ever dwindling. And with something like this, that there is a finite amount of them, it's definitely something that you're going to want to pick up. You're going to want to get into your collection, because you don't want to run the risk of not picking this guy up and then he becomes one of those grail pieces that is so difficult to get. And that would just be terrible. So get this guy, pick him up, get him into your collection. Let's go ahead and take a really good look at him. I do have a new light source in here. It's of course casting shadows on one side, but let me just angle this here a little bit. I did it because I didn't have, with all the light I have in this room. I mean, my God, when I turn on everything in this room, the outside the meters just got to start spinning, like, you know, those movies where it spins, whatever. But I needed more light, so I picked up a cheap, like, $5 desk lamp at Walmart, or I should say my wife picked it up for me, good lady that she is. So I've got a little bit more light in here just to highlight things a little bit better. Alright, so let's get a closer look and take a look at the face sculpt. Just fantastic. This, of course, is based on the art of Kenneth Rocafort. And I think this one was sculpted by Paul Harding. I can't remember. And I'm not going to get up and get the box. So, but the face is just amazing. It really captured Rocafort's version of Superman. The crystal clear blue eyes, that awesome S curl on the front. Just the sculpting in the hair is awesome. The angular features, all the angles around this thing are just amazing. Look at that collar, just beautifully done, down to the shoulders and the armor lines. Everything is just so beautiful on this statue. The cape, I love this cape. This is, I think, with the Rags Morales version, those are the two best capes out of all of these statues, is the Rags Morales and this one. And I think a lot of it has to do with the etched in S. That S is actually etched into this cape, and it's done in a matte, whereas the rest of the cape is a gloss, so that really makes that S pop out on this cape. It draws your eyes to it, and it's hard not to just kind of marvel at the wonderful job that was done here. And then the cape itself, I mean, look at all the detail that they got into this, the way it's flowing perfectly with the body. It's fantastic. And I know I'm kind of gushing about this statue, and I did the first time, but this time there's nothing really holding me back, because the last time I had that hand like smacking me in the face every time I looked at it, and this time I can look at the statue with such awe because it's absolutely perfect. That S on the front is just flat out amazing. They perfectly got that Jim Lee S where it starts a little bit more narrow and then widens as it comes across the chest, and the way it swoops down, and then it's got that nice little point and then comes down again, and it all is raised up from the chest. So that is absolutely perfect. The belt is amazing, and then just the lines. Just those lines just come so well down. Everything flows so well. The sculptor did such an amazing job. The armor lines on the boots are so well done. It matches so well to the comic book. And of course, I talked about this in my first review as well. This statue is actually not removable from the base. All the other statues, the other 5 that we've gotten in this series, with the base and the statue are actually separate pieces with a peg that you can go ahead and put the statue into the base. But because of balancing issues, I think because of the pose they have him in, this statue was attached to the base. And I don't know if that's going to be something that they're going to be keeping up with the rest of the figures in the line. I think it's really going to come down and depend on the pose. The next statue to come out is going to be the Mcguinness Statue, and he's just standing on the base, kind of like the Rags Morales. So I'm sure there's going to be pegs, but I don't know if that one's going to be attached. The one after that is going to be the Earth 1 statue, and he is at a pretty extreme angle on that one. So I don't know if they're going to do that one or not. The only one I can compare that to is the Frank Miller one, because the peg they have in kind of the same place. It's like coming in by one of the knees. So they may or may not have that one removable, but I definitely think they made a great choice with making this statue a solid piece, because that if he turned the wrong way on here, he would just completely overbalance, and you'd run the risk of this statue overbalancing, falling, and being damaged, and you definitely do not want that to happen. Of course, nobody ever wants to have that happen with any of their collectibles, but how heartbreaking would it be to come home and see this guy having fallen and smashed, and yeah, that would just be absolutely terrible. So we're going to get one last nice 360 view of this guy. I do have one of those little turntables. It's sitting, I don't have it yet, but I've got it sitting in my cart on Amazon. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because it's like $20-some, and I could get a cool new figure for that. But there you go, guys. This is my update video. The Man of Steel line statues, the Kenneth Rocafort, the most recent statue, with absolutely no quality control issues. I want to thank you guys for listening to me ramble on about this twice, because I know a lot of my dedicated viewers are probably going to watch this, and I want to thank you guys. That would be, you know, Stuart, Jamie, Travis. One of my newer viewers has come on as Mike. All you guys. I don't want to leave anybody out. It's all you guys who watch my videos and leave comments and are really supportive. Pinoy Toy Geek. Okay, I'm going to stop naming because I'm going to miss somebody, and I apologize. I don't want to miss nobody. Thank you to all my viewers. For any new viewer, please rate, comment, subscribe. Check out my channel. Check out the other people's channels that I've mentioned. You know, thank you for watching, and I say this at the end of every of my videos. Have a nice day.